Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into, well, a really curious incident from Greensprout Village, a giant carrot.
Not just giant, right? We're talking enormous. Apparently appeared overnight.
Exactly, just poof. And the initial reactions, well, they were all over the place. Some thought, maybe a monster.
Or a giant mutant worm I read somewhere. It highlights that feeling of the completely unexpected, doesn't it?
It really does. We've got this untitled document that details the whole thing. So our mission today, for you listening, is to kind of unpack how this community handled such a bizarre event.
And maybe see what lessons popped up along the way.
Yeah, some interesting takeaways for sure.
Yeah.
So let's set the scene. Farmer Fern's garden.
Right. Sun comes up and bam! There it is. This huge, orange, bumpy thing.
Yeah.
As tall as a goat on stilts, the document says.
A goat on stilts. That paints a picture. And imagine Benny the bunny's face.
Oh, absolutely terrified, probably. Leela the ladybug, maybe, trying to figure it out scientifically.
Farmer Fern.
Oh.
That's a big carrot.
Pretty much. But the big question was, how? Where did it come from?
That's the mystery. Which brings in Detective Dot the Mole.
Ah, yes, the investigator.
And what I liked was her method. Very down to earth. No wild theories initially.
She just started asking questions, right? Talking to the worms, the scarecrow, who presumably saw something.
Or maybe just stood there. And the birds, their input was just poof.
Not super helpful, no. But it does capture the, suddenness of it all.
Definitely. But Dot kept at it, examining the soil.
Checking the leaves, the root itself. Real detective work.
And then she found something, didn't she? A clue.
Yes. A tiny little tag, kind of tucked away near the bottom. Shiny.
Okay, and this tag, what did it say? This must be the key.
It was pretty straightforward, actually. It read, experimental superseed, do not eat unless extremely hungry.
Whoa. Okay, so not a monster.
Nope. Suddenly it's like, uh-oh, someone's garden experiment went a bit overboard.
Changes everything, doesn't it? The whole feel of the situation.
Completely. And this is where the community response gets really interesting.
Yeah, the town meeting. Instead of panic, they got creative.
Totally. Ideas started flying.
Yeah.
Someone suggested a giant carrot slide.
I love that. What else?
Cupcakes. Apparently, the first estimate was like 9,000 carrot cupcakes.
9,000, okay.
And then just a full-on carrot carnival. A celebration.
And Farmer Fern, the guy whose garden was invaded by this thing?
His reaction was brilliant. He didn't get possessive or worried. He just heard all these ideas and basically said, great, let's do all of it.
That's fantastic. Talk about turning a weird situation into a positive.
It really speaks to that community spirit.
Yeah.
Sharing the surprise.
So they actually did it. The slide, the cupcakes, the carnival.
It did. The document describes everyone chipping in, sharing, cooking, decorating. You can just imagine the scene. It became this big shared project.
That's amazing. And it wasn't just about fun, right? The document mentioned some actual lessons learned.
Absolutely. Especially for the kids, but really for anyone.
Yeah.
It highlights how, being curious and observant, like Detective Dot, helps solve mysteries.
Right. Don't just jump to monster, look closer.
Exactly. And the benefit of sharing surprises how it makes the joy bigger. Plus, the power of teamwork. They turned this giant, potentially awkward thing into something wonderful together.
Teamwork makes the dream work, even if the dream involves a colossal carrot.
And, maybe the most practical lesson, always check the label on your seed packets.
Ah, yes. Crucial takeaway there. So, for everyone listening, this dive into the giant carrot story, it's more than just like a funny anecdote.
It shows how something totally unexpected can, bring people together.
Spark some real creativity and teach us a few things along the way.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe something for you to mull over. Think about the unexpected things, the metaphorical giant carrots that pop up in your own life.
Those sudden, maybe overwhelming events or situations.
Right. And consider how those Greensprout Village principles, that curiosity, that willingness to share and collaborate, how might they apply? How could you turn your own unexpected challenges into something, maybe even amazing?